All right, so let's just start with a quick word of prayer. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you so much for this amazing opportunity to expand ourselves, God, to become the absolute best version of ourselves. We thank you for every divine connection that you have placed in our lives. Help us to be excellent stewards of those relationships, excellent stewards of the resources that you have made available to us. God, we thank you that we will use the abundance to build the kingdom and to help improve the lives of so many other people, Lord God. We thank you that not only do you teach us all things, but you bring those things to our remembrance. So we thank you that the information that we receive on these webinars and in these sessions, that this won't just be motivation and inspiration for a moment that will flee our minds, but we thank you that you would cause us to remember these things and that this would become a lifestyle for us. We are so grateful for this information, and we thank you that we won't be wasteful with it, but we thank you, Lord, that you can trust us with abundance, and we are so excited to be a part of what you are doing. In Jesus' name we pray. All right, super excited. As you guys know, I've got a lot of announcements for you. If this is your very first time on a Millionairess Club chat webinar, then I want you to go ahead and type in the chat and say, I'm new. One thing that you are going to learn about the Millionaires Club is that we are all about celebration. We love to celebrate each other. We love to know exactly who you are. We love to know exactly who you are, and we love to know what you have going on, because we want to get right in the trenches with you. We want to pray with you when you need extra help. We want to celebrate with you when you're able to see the results that you've been believing for. And so if you are new, then go ahead and type in the chat that you are new so that we can give you an official welcome. We've not done that. And then I've got some quick announcements for you guys. Speaking of the new people, I definitely want to encourage you to stay plugged in. I'm so excited that you're on the webinar tonight. The people that plug in the most consistently are those that see the results that they're actually looking for. So what does plugging in mean? Plugging in means jumping on these webinars twice a month. Plugging in means being active in the Telegram and Facebook groups. Plugging in means opening up your emails when you get those replay emails and listening to this information over and over and over again. A lot of the topics that we talk about in the Millionaires Club are not things that you're going to hear in your daily conversation. This is not something that you're probably accustomed to already hearing on a regular basis. And so you want to be sure that you keep that wealth building information in front of you. So think of these replays as a library. You're building a wealth library. You want to get in the habit of listening to this information over and over and over and over, and not just absorbing the information, but then moving from formation to implementation and actually implementing these strategies in your lives in some way, in some sort. Okay, so if you're new, we definitely want to give you a customized welcome card online. So if you're new and you have not seen your beautiful face plastered all over a welcome card with a bunch of people telling you welcome to the club, it's probably because we don't have your gorgeous picture. So we want to make sure that you complete the first step of your welcome email and then send over that picture so that we can put your face on the front of a welcome card and you can get your official welcome. Also, make sure that you are looking at the assessment, the financial assessment that you got as a part of that welcome kit as well, that first welcome email and all of that. So that financial assessment is really going to help to give you an accurate snapshot of where you are right now. And that picture is going to change. So where you are financially, where you were 6 months ago, a year ago, and where you are today may be totally different. And so this is something that you're going to want to do over and over again on a regular basis, but you kind of have to have a starting point to really know where you start to be able to see where you're going. Sometimes because we're looking at things so closely, we don't even realize how much we've progressed because it's just right in front of us. Somebody else can look at our life and say, oh my gosh, I remember when you weren't able to do this or you weren't able to do that. And now look at your life. But sometimes when you're so close to it and your dreams and your vision is so big, you don't see the small steps of progress that you have really made. But taking part in something like a financial assessment will be able to give you real numbers so that you're able to see where you've started and actually where you are right now. So I want to make sure that you're taking full advantage of everything that the club offers. If you have not, whether you're new and maybe you're an older member and you just never filled out your financial assessment, go ahead and fill out that assessment and put it to work and start implementing some of these wealth building strategies. Okay. Another housekeeping rule. I want to remind you that if for some reason you're missing a chat or you're not getting an email, maybe you have issues with the club or there's just something kind of technical. Some of you guys do have the privilege of having Dr. Jewel's personal cell phone number, but we want to ask that you don't text her asking her questions like, I didn't get the email for the Millionairess Club, or I wanted to make sure that tonight's club chat was going to be was it at 8 o'clock or was it at 9 o'clock? Don't text Dr. Jewel that. She definitely gives us a lot of personal access to her life as a part of the club, and we are so grateful to be able to have that intimate time with her. But we definitely don't want to abuse those relationships and take advantage of us, her team. That's why we're here. So you can always reach any one of us. That's me, Dr. Ashia. That's Camille Westmoreland. That's Marquita Thomas. You can access any one of us at any time by privately messaging us on Telegram, or you can email us at info@jeweltanker.com, and we'll be more than happy to make sure that you're taken care of, and we will get an answer to any kind of question that you have. Okay, is that a deal? Deal. Okay, if that's a deal, I need to see you type deal in the chat. Okay, deal. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Okay, new. Keisha Woodbury is new, you guys. She just typed in the chat that she's new. So let me have you guys go ahead and say welcome to Keisha. Welcome to the Millionaires Club. We're so excited to have you on board. You are going to learn a plethora of short-term and long-term wealth building strategies that are going to blow your mind. Make sure that you stay plugged in, Keisha, so that you can take advantage of all of that. Okay, Tanya B. I don't think I ever received a welcome package. What do I need to do? Okay, yes, Tanya, if you don't mind shooting us an email to info@jeweltanker.com, then we'll make sure, and that welcome information should have come to you, I mean, just in a snapshot as soon as you signed up for the club. So be sure to check your spam folder on your email, but shoot us an email anyway, and we'll make sure that we have your right contact information and get you over the information that you need. Okay, and I see that Camille is answering that as well. Okay, awesome teamwork on that. Okay, so another reminder, the Millionaires Club conference is January the 20th. Okay, if you have not registered for the conference, then you still have time to do so. You just go to millionairesconference.com. We'll be glad to get you signed up for $159. Now, I know that some of you have taken advantage of this room block special because there was a good deal on it. The host hotel is the Renaissance Waverly, and it's right there connected to the Cobb Galleria in Atlanta, Georgia, which is where the conference is going to be. But I do have to tell you that that room block special rate ends on December the 29th, and it's going to increase over $100 a night. So the way you can get the current room block special rate, you go to millionairesconference.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, and you'll be able to see the host hotel information. You click that link and it will give you access to the special room block rate. Even if you don't have a roommate, hey, take advantage of Telegram. I know that I've seen in our Millionaires Club chat women from all over the country sending messages to each other, trying to get in rooms together and all of that. It's a part of the community aspect of the club. So take advantage of it. You want to be sure that you lock in that rate. After December the 29th, the price is going to go up significantly for that. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry, you guys. We got a lot of announcements today, but I'm almost done. Hang in there. I know you guys are just ready to hear about cryptocurrency. Me too. Okay. Club members that are attending the conference, while we're talking about the conference, we sold out of our VIP tickets, VIP tickets. You guys bought those up in a flash. So even if you're attending the conference, you're a Millionaires Club member and you are not VIP, don't worry. We're still going to have special seating for you because you are a part of the club. So we would still like everybody in the club to sit together, and we want you to wear the same colors. What color that's going to be is going to be announced on the next chat. Excuse me. So we want you guys to be able to readily recognize each other. So the VIPs will be sitting in a particular section. The Millionaires Club members are going to be sitting very, very close right there all together. And then everybody's going to be wearing the same colors. So you'll be able to spot each other out very easily and team up with each other and all of that. Okay. Want to remind you that the replays for each and every webinar is always delivered to your email 72 hours after the webinar. So you should get tonight's webinar by Wednesday. In the replay for tonight's webinar, you're going to get a lot of things. Okay, so you definitely want to open this email. Even if, unfortunately, you have not opened any of the rest of the Millionaires Club replays, make sure that you open this email. And this is why. It's going to give you a link that is going to have all of the previous Millionaires Club replays for the duration of the Millionaires Club. As long as it's been online, you'll be able to see every single one of those webinar club chats with this link. Okay, so we're not going to put it in the chat tonight. It's going to be in your replay email, and then you'll have a link and you'll be able to access all of those replays for your library. So I know some people have been asking, how do I just joined the club. How do I get the replay from earlier this month? Or how do I get the replay from last month? Well, we're not only going to just give you that, we're going to give you all the replays for the existence of the club. Woohoo! I know the chat is going wild right now. That's such a big deal. And so that link is going to be in your email. Also, the link for the Millionaires Club reading list is going to be in that email. I know several of you have been asking what are some books that Dr. Jewel recommends, and we've kind of mentioned some books here and there, but we've compiled a nice list for you in organized format. we're going to have the links to those particular books in your replay email as well. So you'll be able to have access to all of that. Okay. Also in your email, you're going to have a link to if you're interested in becoming a vendor. So you may have seen on social media or in Telegram that we are looking for vendors for the Millionairess Conference. Now, we only have 20 vendor spots available. Those vendor spots are $350, and you do have to apply to become a vendor simply because we want to make it fair. We don't want to have several people in the same category. Okay, so if you have a business that does tax preparedness, then we don't want to have 5 or 6 people that are doing tax preparedness. And so we're asking that you apply to become a vendor. Camille's going to put that link right there in the webinar chat. Or if you know someone else that may be interested in becoming a vendor, then if they click that link, they'll be able to apply for a vendor spot, a vendor booth at the conference, which is a really, really big deal. We only have 20, and we just announced the vendor spots a day or so ago, and those applications really started coming in rapidly. So if you're interested, or you know somebody that may be interested, you want to go ahead and get that done, or ask them as soon as possible, because we're probably going to fill those spots up, honestly, within the next day or so. Okay. All right. And then let's see, one more announcement, you guys, and then we're going to switch over to cryptocurrency, and then I'm going to go get some water so I can stop coughing. Okay. All right. So last announcement is we have a contest. We have another contest coming up. So would you like a chance to receive some of the wealth accumulating assets that you hear about on the call? Of course, that's why you're part of the club. Each One, Reach One campaign for the Millionaires Conference begins tomorrow. So this is how it works. You will be entered into a drawing to receive a grand prize, which will be disclosed at the conference by inviting and getting others to register for the conference. Okay. Every invite is an entry, which increases your chances of winning. Now, how are people going to register? Everybody's going to register the same way by using millionairesconference.com. The only thing is they need to put your name as the one who they were invited by. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We've only got just a few we're more than halfway sold out of the conference. We've got just a few more tickets left. We want to go ahead and knock that out, and we want you guys to help us do that. So we're going to reward you by doing that. What happens is you go tell everybody you know about the Millionaires Conference. They go to millionairesconference.com, sign up for the conference. Where it says referred by or invited by, they put your name. Every single conference registration that we get with your name as referred by or invited by gives you another slot in the drawing. We'll put all the names in the drawing. We'll pull from the drawing, and you'll be able to receive a grand prize, which is going to be disclosed at the conference. But I'm telling you, it is definitely going to be something you want. And it's going to be something about a wealth accumulating asset that we've been talking about on the call, and you'll be able to actually get one for free. So does that sound good, or does that sound great? Okay. All righty. We are good to go. Dr. Jewel, are you on?
I am. You did so good. That was great. Great information. I hope you guys were taking great notes. I like something that you said, Ashia, that was so good. You said that you have to understand that, every time you get on one of these webinars, you're basically increasing your wealth library. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. You're increasing your wealth library, and that is exactly right. Wealthy people are very, very intentional about what they do. And so as a result, you all joining this club, you join with the intent of building your wealth library, which will therefore also end up being manifested in your life. You know, everybody's excited about starting. Everybody is thrilled about finishing, but it's the process. It's the in between that sometimes we forget. Why did we make that decision in the first place? And so the only thing that I can tell you is that as I have studied wealth principles over the years, been blessed to be born into an entrepreneurial family and around multimillionaires pretty much honestly my entire life. I used to not want to say that because I wanted to be normal and fit in and have the story that my husband had about being broke. But I just started owning it. I've always been around that, and I'm grateful for that. But I also understand that with that becomes a responsibility, and I understand the difference. Why some people get to a certain level and cap out, why other people continue to grow and grow and grow. That's definitely by design. So I want to encourage you, definitely stay tuned into these webinars. Don't take them lightly. Let this club carry a weight in your life. To the measure that you let this kind of information happen in your life will be to the measure that you're able to receive. Because remember, there's levels of dominance. Somebody said the volume is low. I think I heard somebody else tell me that too. Is the volume low for me? Or can you guys hear? Was the volume low for Shia or is it low for me?
You sound fine to me. I would just recommend that everybody try to adjust their volume. And if it's still an issue, then maybe hang up and jump back on. But you sound loud and clear on my end.
Okay.
I can hear you loud and clear as well.
Okay, great. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Okay, Susan said, yeah, Tamara, Charlize. Okay, great. So just a reminder, I'm going to bring on Anthony here in a minute. Just a reminder that so much about becoming wealthy is trusting your gut, trusting your instinct, living out of your heart. It's almost like all the pieces start coming together. It's not always so logical. You can plan things, but then there are times when you just have to move. So I can set an outline for the last quarter of this year, but then I have to ultimately live out of, I'm pointing to my belly now, live out of my belly or out of my heart, following inklings, following impressions, and keeping an open ear. I always keep an open ear. I'm always looking for, you never know who might have your answer. And so because I live that way, it has allowed me to build wealth strategically. I would have to say definitely by God. You know, the scripture says that he teaches you how to profit because what I'm doing now, I didn't necessarily learn in school. University of Michigan gave me some good core principles, but ultimately a lot of what I've been able to build over the years is keeping a sensitive ear to hear, which is why it's so important to be on these calls, because one conversation can lead to literally you beginning to birth nations, or maybe you birth organizations, or you birth businesses, or you birth inventions, or you birth concepts, or you birth apps, or you all of a sudden start giving birth to things that you would have never given birth to had not the seed been planted at the time of fertilization. So if I'm supposed to be over here, but I'm over there, then everything that the place called over here had for me is now aborted because my ears were not at the right place for me to hear the right thing at the right time. And so I believe in that strongly. I believe in that very strongly, that there is a measure that I can use to plan, but then there is another measure that will just come to me by pure default, that I am connected and where I'm supposed to be and who I am supposed to be connected with. Because whoever is in your ear the most, you become like them. Whatever you hear all the time, you become. When people begin to walk in faith, they don't just wake up, go to bed in the pit, and wake up in the palace. Now that certainly can happen. I believe in that and I prophesied that. And I've declared that many times, and Lord knows it's happened in my own life. I always think back to when I was living with my parents after leaving an abusive relationship. And that would have been a pit experience for me. And now I live in a palace, a certified palace. But what am I saying to you? That I had to, there was a process that I had to build my faith for. And building your faith to walk in wealth is something that is perpetual. There is not a period, but only commas. There is a continuation if you allow there to be. Remember, most adults get to a certain place and park. That's it. That is where they are. But then you have other adults, you look at the people that have had uber success, and they understand that my success, my wealth building is perpetual, it is continual, it does not have an end. In other words, you can say, well, I have a 403B. That's not the end. That's just the basis. That's just the foundation. So you can have as many as branches from a strong foundation of wealth according to the standard that you set. I have a standard. There are certain hotels I will never stay in, period. End of the story. Now, some people call that arrogant. No, it's just a standard that I set. So your life will line up to the measure, to the standard that you set. I'll give you one other example. You can have two women married to good guys. One guy flourishes and the other guy kind of stays the same. Or one guy is, both gentlemen love their wives, but because the one wife set a standard of excellence that this is how we are going to live, I will never ever live below that, then you see him beginning to rise to that standard that's been set. Another guy, great guy, but it doesn't take all that for him. He's happy just the way he is. And then you wonder, well, what was the difference? Because both of the guys were good. Well, one was married to a wife that set a standard in his life to say, we will never, ever live below this bar. This bar is the lowest we will ever be. And so remember that a lot of wealth building has to do with the standard you set. It's almost like saying, my husband loves me, but he doesn't pamper me. No, you got to pamper yourself. You got to put a value on yourself. And then now the man will simply respect the value that you have set. Or if you become frustrated at his lack of appreciation or lack of whatever for you, that's really not his issue. That's your issue because you're responsible for setting that standard. So it's the same thing in wealth. You set a standard. I'll never, ever make below 100,000. I'll never, ever make below 500,000. I'll never, ever make below $1 million. Come on, put that in the chat right now. I will never, ever, ever, ever live below this amount. Whatever that amount is, put that in the chat right now. I will never ever live below this amount. So you have to set that. Nobody else can set that for you. And so this is why it is so important that these relationships, that understand that our connection is not just another club. This club attracts people that have a mandate for massive wealth. Last year, Bill Gates gave away over $30 million and is still considered one of the wealthiest men in the world. Bill Gates has set a standard in his life. Okay, President Trump, before he was president, just as a businessman, he set a standard, which is why he could become bankrupt, because he was not bankrupt internally. It was just an external temporal circumstance, but on the inside he was wealthy, which is why his bounce back game was so crazy where money was concerned and business was concerned, because though he filed bankruptcy, he was simply going through a process, but the standard was set for wealth. This is why you can see some people go through things and then you see other people grow through things. In other words, allowing every situation to simply catapult you, because what does not kill you will make you great. Your darkest hour financially will become your greatest testimony financially. Are you listening to me? Go ahead and say that. Say, I've set a standard. I will never, ever live below this amount. You have to set that standard, okay? which is why it's important that, you know, you're just not, just certain things you're just not going to do. It's just not going to drive certain cars. And it's not about being arrogant. It is, I have set a standard. See, what most people call arrogant is because they have no standard. So people will call you arrogant. Oh, you're arrogant because you won't stay in this hotel. Or you're, and doesn't mean, I didn't say you had a nasty attitude about it. So you still be nice. Somebody talking about no attitude. Of course you have a good attitude regardless. But you set a standard. And so what happens is when people are around you that have not set a standard of wealth, your standard of wealth bothers them. So they label you as arrogant, or they label you as too much. But you have to disconnect from those people and don't shrink back just because they're uncomfortable, just because they chose not to set a standard. Okay? So tonight I'm bringing on Anthony, and I was in, we were in Dominican Republic. My husband and I put together a trip called the Full Tank Experience. And we went to Dominican Republic. We're going to Paris next year in June. I hope all of you come. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But anyway, we were at the Dominican Republic. Leela, his beautiful wife, is in the club. I think she joined the club, I think maybe early this year, maybe last year. And has just been really faithful and learning and growing. And so her husband came, and we're all sitting down having dinner, and he starts talking about how he trades cryptocurrency, how he left his job, corporate America. He went from, and I know he doesn't mind me sharing this, he went from needing his wife to help him pay bills, trying to figure it all out, working in corporate America, working crazy long hours, and started getting involved in the cryptocurrency market. And so now he's left his corporate job, and now he's doing this full time, which is amazing. Oh, you guys are leaving? Come say bye-bye. Come say bye-bye to me. Say hi to the family. Look at Micah, everybody. Say hi, Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
So you better get your money.
Get my money.
Yes, get all of it. Okay, say bye, Kaka. Okay, bye, honey. Yeah, love you. See you guys for Thanksgiving. Love you, baby. Give me a kiss. Love you. So anyway, we're having this conversation. Bye, buddy. Love you. So we're having this conversation, and I'm listening to him, and you know, we're sitting there having dinner with him and his wife, Leela, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. Something's on him. Wealth is on him. Like he had, so, and I know he's not nervous about things. He shouldn't be. But I was like, you understand this banking thing. You really understand this cryptocurrency thing. And not only do you understand it, but you're actually applying it. See, it's one thing to teach. You can teach what you know, but it's another thing to teach what you live. And so I say, he's living this thing. He's really getting this money like this with trading cryptocurrency. So Anthony, I'm so proud of you, brother, for what you've been able to accomplish. And I know, you know, you've just done this thing for you. You really haven't come out in the public yet, but I told him messing with me, that's about to happen. And so talk to me a little bit about, first of all, what blockchain is, because I want to start there. Blockchain is basically banking, and but I'll let you share, and then I may add on some things. So let's talk about what is blockchain. What should people be looking for? By the way, Fortune magazine did a whole article on blockchain, and it was on the cover, and what blockchain is going to do in banking. So excited to have you on tonight. So proud of what you've accomplished, and we'll kind of do this interview style. But tell us first, what is blockchain? Oh, Leela says she can't unmute. Okay, well, let me see, darling. Let me see if I can get you unmuted here.
Hello?
Okay, there you go. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Good to have you on tonight, sir. So proud of what you've been able to accomplish and do. Talk to us about what is blockchain.
Now, blockchain is what it is it's where everyone can use the transactions to transfer any type of cryptocurrency. The reason why the banks want to use it is because it's a lot more efficient than, than actually going into the bank and, you're having to, stand in a specific line and, get your money that way. But what blockchain does is kind of digitizes everything. And so it has, it allows that information from one particular corporation to another corporation to get there a lot faster and a lot more secure. Because they have the servers the way that they have them, it's not a scenario to where you can, it can be hacked, so to speak. So it's basically helping the bank system to, because it's all about, getting rid of, and not really getting rid of the fiat currency or the dollar or the yen or whatever, but it's just more or less streamlined. So it's so important that we pay attention to where the world is going, because the world is going more digital than it is anything else. Because as you know, it's a lot easier to program a computer than to teach a person how to do a certain thing. So that's what they're trying to do, and that's what the blockchain does. It basically helps with the communication between different institutions or whatnot. And so that's what they're going to start using a lot with the blockchain.
So yeah, that's good, Anthony. So basically what blockchain is going to do, and you'll start to see these physical banks closing, because the only reason people go to banks are to make transactions, deposits, withdrawals. And so with blockchain, it'll almost be like Apple Pay. Like I downloaded all of my credit cards on Apple Pay. Yay, thanks for my CO. Like, come on, you got to get this done. And so anyway, we got it done. And so now everything, I don't even have to pull out my credit card. I can go to Toys R Us and buy toys for Tots or wherever, and have it on my phone and make my payment right from my phone. So we're going to start to see that happen more. You'll be able to buy real estate, homes, land, any transaction you'll be able to buy through blockchain, and it'll happen automatically. Where normally, if you did a wire transfer, you would transfer money, it might take 2 or 3 days. Now you'll be able to transfer and it'll happen immediately because of blockchain. So it's direct, there's a direct transaction there. And so again, that's coming up. And this is why it's so important for us not to be afraid of technology, which is why we're partnered with Microsoft. They're going to be at the conference in January. We're going to be looking at innovation. They're going to be talking to us about business and innovation. And these things are very, very important. I also wanted to ask you about, I also want to say, Wells Fargo has 400 banks that are closing. So we're going to start to see an emergence of banks closing and moving into this digital space. So again, embrace it, even if you feel like you don't understand it. So talk to us about cryptocurrency, and particularly, how would you define cryptocurrency?
Now, cryptocurrency is a digital, it's basically like a group of numbers, so to speak. And every different coin has its own specific type of group of numbers or calculation that it actually created to generate that coin. So, not to make it really, complicated, is if you think about money itself, the dollar, all the different type of currencies, the dollar used to be backed by gold. So since the dollar was backed by gold, then it was actually hard currency. But once it left gold, it just became what they call fiat currency. So it's just as cryptocurrency, which is a digital currency that it's not really backed by like gold or anything like that. But because of the different, like Dr. Jewel was saying, that now you're able to buy a home using Bitcoin, that what gives it its value. So cryptocurrency is just digital currency that you're able to streamline funds through, basically.
No, that's good. No, that's really good. And so with cryptocurrency, there are lots of different types of currency, right? Like Ripple, Salt. Talk to us about Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin is going crazy right now. It started at what price?
Bitcoin started at about 10 cents. And 10 cents. Like it started like at 10 cents, like 2009 or 2010. Then it went up to like $1,000 like a few years later. And then it dropped back down to like $100 or whatnot. Then it kind of, went up and down. And when I started dealing with cryptocurrency or with Bitcoin itself, which is the upper echelon of coins. So it's every other coin that you will purchase, you will use Bitcoin to purchase that coin. So when I started purchasing Bitcoin, it was like $900 a coin. And when I first saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, this is just, this is too high. I'm not going to pay $900 for a coin. But, but my business partner, we kind of, talked about it. And he was like, well, it's going to be, he said it's going to be probably about $10,000 in the next year or two. I kind of thought he was crazy. But if we look at where Bitcoin is today, it's $8,000. So that's $8,000 per coin. So, a lot of times people hear those numbers and they get kind of like, okay, well, I can't do that. You don't have to put $8,000 to get things started. If you have $100, you got to start somewhere. And so the good thing about Bitcoin is that you don't have to buy a whole coin to get started. You can buy a portion of a coin, transfer that to another. They call altcoins. Every coin that's underneath Bitcoin that's not actually a Bitcoin is called altcoin. So you can look at it's just altcoin. And so Ripple, Ethereum, Litecoin, all the different coins, those are called altcoins. They're just different types of currency. So if you wanted to get into it, you can start at whatever level you're at. Go ahead and get you an account set up. I have I'm gonna put into the chat the two different types of the place where you can actually start. It's called Coinbase. That's where I started, purchasing my coins from. And then you can go and go further than that and start trading coins through Bittrex, and it's a lot more you can go into. So if you start with purchasing your coins, then get educated on what those coins can do for you, then you can go from there.
That's so good. So what would you say, because there are a lot of different companies coming out that are, saying, spend $30 here and bring in some people and we'll accumulate your Bitcoin. I don't know, you may not have an opinion on that. You may or may not. If you don't, you just say, I don't know. But I'm just curious because there are a lot of different companies out here right now that are saying, join us and start saving Bitcoin versus going through just a Coinbase or Bittrex. Do you have any opinion there?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's actually how I started, honestly. I purchased Bitcoin, then I joined the company. They said it was called a Bitcoin doubler, and it was called Gladia Coin. So I started in Gladia Coin. I started purchasing. I started purchasing different packages. It started doubling. I actually made some money in it. So I can say that you can make money, but it's very risky because that company can take all the coins and just leave the next day. So you got to you really got to do some research. Good thing is that we kind of knew the owners, so then we jumped into it. And so if you know that the company is legit, it's a lot of them out there that just will take your money and just I was part of one. I only put I put like one Bitcoin back. When I started, I put one Bitcoin in it, and I think I was in it for like 3 days, and then they put a message on Facebook and said, "Thank you for your donation." So I just lost the Bitcoin. So it was just a learning experience. So it's good to do research. If you do research, or if you're gonna do it, start real low. Let it get some returns back. Don't put a lot of money into it because there are some good ones out there. I'm talking to Dr. Jewel about one. I'm not going to announce that one yet. I'm going to let her be the one and announce that. But there is one that I'm actually just starting. So and it's working for me. So trading is amazing, because you can get into a coin at a low level, an altcoin at a low level, and that coin can double in a week, 2 weeks, even a month or a year. But whenever it doubles, you may double on your investment. So
Yeah, that's really good. So let's talk a little bit. I just want to just share your story a little bit. When did you get started in the whole cryptocurrency market?
I started actually in December of last year.
December of last year. Now, this is
Yeah.
amazing. I really want you all to pay attention to this. I think this is mind blowing, and I think this is why we all need to educate ourselves in this space. I believe we're going to see the greatest emergence of billionaires within the next couple of years out of this technological digital space than we've ever seen. It's already happening. It's happening for you. It's happening for me. It's happening for a lot of people. And then, of course, I know we're with IML, which trades foreign currency, and then now they're also beginning to trade cryptocurrency, and then we're doing some other things. So you started in December of last year, and you got with someone who was able to mentor you in this space. You started trading the cryptocurrency. And when you first started trading, if you don't mind just sharing, what were you making on average per month just when you got started? Because you've only been in this space really a year next month, which is amazing.
Right. Well, I started trading, and like I said, with the Gladiator coin I was doing, I was actually doing with Gladiator coin I would say about $1,000 a day. And
are you still with Gladiator coin?
No, they're gone.
Are you
They're
still
gone.
with them?
No, that's just part of my story.
Okay.
They're totally
So
gone.
so there was one of those companies. This is what you're talking about.
That's one of those companies that I was
So
talking
this is
about.
the part where you were talking about why you have to be careful.
Exactly. Very, very careful.
Okay,
And it can ruin relationships. But it's very important that okay, well, like I say, you research and do your due diligence in anything that you start. And so I started with Gladiator coin, and I was doing about $1,000 a day. And then after that, that tanked. I actually went from Gladiator coin to Bittrex. I put that in the chat. And what I would do is, I would, of course, buy low and sell high. And I was doing on a regular basis around $10,000 a month. And, and then there was some different coins that, it was brand new coins that was coming out that I said, okay, well, yeah, these are some good coins that, I can, make some real money with. And so, what I did was because if you put your ear to the ground and, and look at the different, because just like with stocks, cryptocurrency, it operates in that way. So with news, when news change about a specific coin, what happens is that coin either drops or raises. So if you paid, like when they was talking about Ripple, Ripple, I got into Ripple when it was like 2 cents, and it went from 2 cents to 21 cents. I got into a coin called Ormius coin. I got that when it was 10 cents, and now it's at $5. So, it's like, it's those type of, that type of information that will guide you and allow you to make large amounts of money at one time.
That's good. So, because I know there are network marketing companies out there. The only one that I really trust, obviously, is IML right now, honestly. But the good thing is that you can start accumulating currency through Coinbase and Bittrex, and those are both legit. It's your money that's being held. It's not based on you enrolling anybody else. And not to say that there won't be viable companies that emerge. I'm sure there will be. But I can't 1,000% put my name behind any of them right now legitimately. But I know Coinbase and Bittrex, of course, is a place that where you can start accumulating. So let's talk a little bit about Ripple and Salt. I'm an investor in well, I want to go back to you. So you started doing about $1,000 a day, and how long were you doing $1,000 a day?
I was doing it. The company, when I started with the company, I kind of got it in towards the beginning, like in March, and I was doing that until I would say like July. So, after July start on a downtick, and a lot of people, a lot of people lost a lot of money, but I just looked at it in that process of time. Even though I lost some money at that time, my initial investment, I got that back, and then I actually got a lot more than my initial investment. So, once I left there, then I started trading on Bittrex, and then purchasing other coins. The good thing about cryptocurrency is that there's a coin coming out like almost all the time, like almost at least once a week. There's a coin coming out. Right now there's over 800 coins. And the good thing, like you had mentioned, Salt is a company that they're a lending company. Excuse me. They're a lending company. And what they do is they would take whatever type of Bitcoin or coins that you have for collateral, and then they would give you cash for that. Because a lot of times you can't. A lot of times it's a process to get cash or whatnot. So with them, if you have some Bitcoin, they give you you use your coin, and then they give you collateral, or they use your coin for collateral, and then they give you cash for that. So that coin, it started out at like 50 cents. And now it's like $3 right now. The last time I checked, it was $3, but it went as high as $5. So when you get in like in Salt, and they're not fully open yet. So once they like open fully, start actually having operations. There's another coin that did the same exact thing that Salt is doing, and it's called BitConnect. With them, what they did was they started out last year at about 10 cents. And then, it raised before they actually opened and started doing lending. By the time they they started lending, it was like $5. And right now, today, it's $291 for one BitConnect coin. So, the reason why, like I said, when you look for different companies, you look at what they're doing and, what service that they're providing. And what BitConnect is doing, is they're doing the lending as well. So you're basically, you're lending people money, basically, and then they pay you back in dividends at a particular time. However much you put in, it had time frames or whatnot. So that kind of, I looked at that. I was like, okay, well, yeah, it's good because it's backed by not just the coin itself. It's also backed by Bitcoin as well. So that's the good thing about that. So, when you look at different coins, you want to look at what service that they offer, and is it going to be valuable to people?
Yeah. Now Ripple is trading at about 23 cents. Is that right?
23 cents.
And I think, is it Japan that's relying heavy on that particular currency?
Yeah. When Ripple first came out, it was just going to be, a coin that will help banks with different transactions. And they didn't expect it to explode the way that it did. What happened is Japan chose Ripple as like its currency of choice to make transactions easier for their customers. So what they did was they took all the banks, when Japan or China, they do something like that, everybody got to do it. So in Japan, all the banks that they had in Japan, that's when Ripple moved from 2 cents to 21 cents, is when they made all the banks in Japan use this type of cryptocurrency for transactions. So they have another coin out there you guys might want to look at, and it's called Omizio. I'll type that. It's called OMG is the signal for it. And this China, they're going to be using this coin for their transactions, because what they did was they banned Bitcoin in China. And once they banned Bitcoin in China, Bitcoin went from $4,800 to like $3,500. But then it raised back up, after, people realized that it wasn't going anywhere. So Omizio is a good coin right now to purchase as well. So, if you look at different coins like Ripple, that's solving a big problem, not just for people, but for a whole government. You know, those are just like stocks. You know, you want to go ahead and put some money into it. You know, I always tell people don't put more money into it than you can don't put too much into it, and because if you put a lot into it and you lose it all, then you'll be upset. So, you know, put what you can stand.
That's good. So you have to make sure you use proper risk management, which you can stand. And so when were you able to leave corporate America? Because you just started doing so well.
Well, I left corporate America right before the Dominican trip.
Okay.
I used the Dominican trip was my retirement party. So,
wow. Wow.
So yeah.
And so, you know, of course, everybody on here has a wealth mindset. So you're doing a strong 5 figures a month with cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah, strong.
strong. And I think now also, and we celebrate this kind of thing. I know you don't want to share this kind of thing with everybody, but now you are legitimately in the 7-figure club.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, that's amazing. That happened in a year.
Right.
That's huge because, you know, I'm all about becoming an asset and cash millionaire. Those two things are powerful things. Liquidity and then assets are huge. I'm really proud of you. I want to open it up just for a few questions for Anthony tonight. And so I guess for those of you, and we can send this out again too, you know, this is, you know, this is all huge. I've got, I think, 15,000 in Ripple, and Camille has 517, and we're going to continue to, you know, invest in Ripple and buy more and more and more. Okay, so let's open it up for some Q&A. Anybody got any questions tonight? Any questions?
Someone said they can't unmute.
They can't unmute? I don't know why. Let me find you. Tamara. I should have known. I love it. I know that's right. Tamara engages.
I'm gonna set it. I'm gonna set it so that people can unmute. We did that so that we wouldn't have feedback during the call. So I'm gonna update the settings now. So you all will just need to unmute yourself once I redo the setting. Okay.
That's good. Let's give some examples. Ashia, that's good. She said, let's do the math for investing in some cheaper cryptocurrency like Ripple. So if you bought 3 cents and you bought $2,000 worth and it goes to $100 a coin, you have $1 million. That's huge. That's a good $2,000 worth and goes to $100 a coin. You now have $1 million. Wow. That's why, I mean, and Ripple is certainly a really great one to buy right now.
Yes,
one of my faves.
Somebody put in the chat about Litecoin. Litecoin is another coin that's a good coin to do. Last year, earlier this year, Litecoin was like
that too.
And Ethereum is an amazing coin as well. Ethereum, if you want to see Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin are coins that you can purchase other coins with. So they back other coins. So that's what makes them so valuable. So like if you got Ethereum now is like it actually took a huge bump. It's like around 330, 340 now. I think I got some Ethereum when it was like $26. And so, you know, now it's at $330, but they expect Ethereum to be as big as Bitcoin. They expect Litecoin to be as big as Ethereum is. So if you can, like Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin, I would say purchase those, hold them. And also invest as well. Because I mean, you can sit on it and you can make some return, but it's a lot better if you can double that Bitcoin or double Ethereum or double Litecoin. So that's important as well, because there's a lot of companies out here that's using the Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin as their basis. So if you get those coins, hold some and invest some.
That's good.
Hey, Dr. Jewel, I have a question.
Hey, yes,
Hey,
Tamara.
this is so excellent. So thank you so much for sharing this information. I wanted to know, in terms of your income monthly, would you say you're generating most of your income with cryptocurrencies through, maybe, is it BitConnect, or how are you selling it? How are you doing that? Because I just recently invested in a mining contract for Monero, Ethereum Classic, and Dash.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, are you also doing any mining contracts or lending through BitConnect?
Well, yeah, I do a lot when it comes to cryptocurrency. I'm actually have a Dash mining rig that's coming in at the end of the at the end of this month, and I also lend through BitConnect, and I also, what I do is I trade. I buy low and I sell high with different coins that's out there. That a lot of coins that's out there. If you look at it, if you're on Bittrex or whatnot, a lot of coins that's out there, they would jump in, and then a lot of people, what they do is they pump and dump. So if you just like with stocks, if you get in when it's low and you see that it's trending up, I know a lot of you guys use the Forex. If you see it trending up, sell it when you make 5% or 10%, and then for that day, you done made a little money. Don't put a whole bunch into it, because it is a pump and dump and it can jump at any moment. But put something in. Say, okay, well, my goal is to make $1,000 a day. So you take $100 or $200 and put them in a couple of those companies and sell it. So that's how I do some of my income. But I also have some that I hold, like Ripple. I would not sell that. I'm gonna keep that one. Ripple, I keep. I got Litecoin that I keep. I use Ethereum and Bitcoin to trade a lot. So I don't, I do still have Bitcoin, but I used to trade it a lot. So, but it's good to have those mining rigs if you can get them, because the Dash rig, Dash right now is like $400. So with the rig that I'm getting, I will be making at least one Dash coin a day. And so, that's an extra income that comes. So it's a lot of different ways to make money with cryptocurrency.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing all that.
Not a problem.
It's great.
Hey, Dr. Jewel. Can you hear me? It's Ashia.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey. Whoop. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure, because I'm just so fascinated by the numbers of this. I just wanted to make sure that the ladies were understanding how big this thing really is, because, okay, we know that Bitcoin is kind of through the roof. So let's say that you're not able to spend $8,000 for one Bitcoin or even a portion of it, but something like Ripple, it's 20 something cents a coin. So if we were to do some math, just to simplify it, let's say that at 20 cents a coin, roughly 20 cents a coin, you bought $100 worth of Ripple. Okay, then you get 500 coins because they're 20 cents a coin. As the value of those coins go up, obviously the value of your portfolio is going to increase. So let's say that those 500 coins actually went up to $100 per coin, which, based on the numbers that Anthony has shared with us, is extremely realistic. Then now the value of your Ripple has just gone up to $50,000.
Exactly.
All you paid was $100 investment because you bought it so low, and now it's worth 50,000. And
Right.
so you just heard the other example of, if you were to buy $2,000 worth, you were able to purchase roughly 10,000 coins. That went up to $100 a coin. That's $1 million worth of Ripple that you would have as the price goes up to $100 a coin, and you only paid $2,000 for it. So we really have an excellent advantage, especially to get in on some of the coins, like how you were talking about the Litecoin, the Ethereum, the Ripple, where the price is substantially lower than the Bitcoin, but history has kind of shown us where it's expected to go. It just makes sense to kind of stock up on it while we can.
Now with Ripple, because it's an altcoin, you're gonna have to use Bitcoin to purchase it. So, but you can purchase $100 worth of Bitcoin and use a website like Bittrex to purchase that Ripple. It's always good to make sure you get that base first. So go ahead and get the Bitcoin. Even if it is $8,000, don't let that number, stir you away, because you're going to use that Bitcoin to purchase, like you said, the Ripple. So you can purchase as much as you want or as little as you want. Now, somebody asked a question about what is the cost of getting a dash rig. Now, with the dash rig, I purchased that with. Well, I actually worked out a deal with my partner to get that. Now, once I get the dash rig, you actually have to create a hash. It's a little, it's a lot more technical things that go into it that I won't know until I get it. Now, once I get it and it's up and operational, I can let Dr. Jewel know, and I can get that information to you, and that's normal. And I make sure, she lets you know on, what the costs involved, what it takes, to mine the different coins, and how to create that hash. And if there is any monthly charges, I'll let you know that as well.
So what is the name of the company you're talking about? How do you spell the name to buy the
I'm sorry.
Bitcoin? I said, what is the name of the company? How do you spell the name of the company to buy the
I'm
Bitcoin?
sorry.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. What is the name of the company? How do you spell the name of the company where you buy the Bitcoin?
It's Coinbase. I just put it in the chat.
Okay.
Coinbase, that's the exchange account. That's where you'll be able to purchase Bitcoin to begin trading. And then Bittrex is one of the top trading companies out there that you can use to actually trade or purchase, like Ripple and any other altcoins that's on there.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
All right, let's take one last question. Anybody else?
Hey, Dr. Jewel, it's Amanda.
Hi, pretty girl.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. Well, first of all, I just want to say that this chat tonight on cryptocurrency is really good. I actually set up an account with Coinbase today, and I bought Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. So I'm super
Yay.
excited. Yes, so I'm super excited because I know the power in cryptocurrency. And so, Anthony, so thank you so much for this information. It's really, really good. My question is, well, you've already answered one question as far as using Bittrex to purchase Ripple. My question is, can you purchase all types of alternate coins through Bittrex, or is it only Ripple?
Bittrex have about 700 coins that it trades.
Okay.
So the good thing about Bittrex is that I like, and I've actually made money with it. What they do is once you log into the website, it shows the coins that's doing the best for that day.
Okay.
It shows coins that that has the most volume. What you want to look at when you're looking at different coins, you want to make sure that you look at the volume, because volume is very, very important. That means how many other people have purchased that coin, and how much capital did that particular company have. Another website that you want to look at is CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap have a list of all the different coins. I'm trying to type in at the same time. CoinMarketCap, they have a list of all the different coins that's out there, their volume, how long they've been in existence, and everything. So you can actually go to CoinMarketCap. You can pull up all the different cryptocurrencies that's there. And once you get into that, you'll see Bitcoin, of course, at the top, and then you'll see all the other coins, and then it'll show you the volume that they have. And some of them have, like, some companies have billions of capital. They might be low right now, and how much they actually are per coin. But a lot of those companies that have higher market caps, those are some of the companies that you might want to look into, kind of study them for a few days and see them go down or whatnot, or kind of get them at a low point and then let them raise up, give it about a month or two or whatnot, and then just sell it off. So that's another one besides Bittrex that you want to look at too. Is called CoinMarketCap. That's where I go to do a lot of my research.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, Anthony, we're going to get you back on here on the next one. That's why I like to bring those experts on twice, just because it's so much great information that you kind of need to hear again and get some updates. But this has been amazing tonight. The ladies love it. And then also maybe Google blockchain. Robert Kiyosaki has some stuff out there on blockchain on YouTube that you might want to watch, that I've watched a few of those videos, and it's been helpful with getting an understanding of how everything works. If you guys enjoy Anthony tonight, everybody say, great job. I love it. Also look at, maybe getting ready to invest, or buying some Ripple or Salt, which I think is about $3 right now, a coin. So as you can see, the ladies are lighting the chat up. They love it. I want to encourage you to move forward, set up that Coinbase account, and you can set it up where you do like automatic withdrawal, where you can have $200 come out every month, $300 come out every month, whatever amount you want. I know we have Stash working where you guys are investing in stocks. Some of you've done that. Then doing this is going to give you a nice, strong, focused portfolio, because I don't believe in doing a well-rounded portfolio. You need a focused portfolio with aggressive appreciating assets, cryptocurrency, gold, silver, oil wells, mining rights. All these are going in the right direction. Forex, all those on the right direction. I'm going to say, annuities, mutual funds, all that. If you have it, I would do very, very small percentage because those returns are so conservative. This is the direction that we want to go on. All right, great. So I love you guys. Let's make it a great night. Anthony, again, amazing job. Leela, so proud of you and your family and what you've done. And I mean, the certified millionaire thing, my hat is off to your brother. You did it within a year time, within 12 months. Only God could have taught you this. That's the thing that I love about you and your wife. You love God. You acknowledge that it's him, but you're not like spooky religious. You know how to talk articulately about the realm of business, and that's a powerful thing. So ladies, I love you. Let's go ahead and let's make it great and get these things in place for 2017. Make sure you get your tickets for the conference. Don't forget the Bring One On, get engaged there. The replay will be going out. Love you so much. Make it a great night. God bless.